Hello, everyone. Welcome to my first episode of Little Lady Cook. I am your host, JC Gibbs, aka La Cocinerita. I'm a food history enthusiast, a Panamanian Caribbean cook, and a lover of all the things gastronomy. And today I will be talking about the food trends predictions for 2019. I went through different websites and magazines, like tons of them. It's like January, and actually starting since December, they start discussing how the food trends of 2018 went. I haven't checked on those, but my assumption is that there was a lot of probably insect food again, which is also part of the prediction for 2019. And not that I'm negative, but I'm pretty skeptical, at least here in America. I don't see people ordering insects at, I don't know, a Chipotle or taco place, or I don't know. I myself have experience with some bugs, some insects, but it's just not my cup of tea. But I'll be talking about this food trend later on. So yeah, I was saying that the thing about food trends is, like sometimes, like, okay, right now, January 2019, we laugh at some of them and even at some of the past. And yet at some point they were taken pretty serious. For example, I was reading, what was it, on this website called mash.com. They were talking about the food of the future, like freeze-dry foods, that was going to be the next thing. And as far as I know, people, unless they're going to the Space Museum, they're not really ordering that kind of food. I myself do buy some freeze-dry foods, mostly a couple of fruits, and I use them for cake baking. But again, I'll talk about cake baking in the future in one of my episodes. Another food trend that people now will scoff and laugh is savory congealed salads, or jello salads, if you will call it. And I don't think I have much experience with jello salads. I have seen them still on a few like kind of like family Maryland grocery stores, so I'm tempted to order it someday. I know, actually, I'm lying. Now that I remember, back in 2000, probably 7, I went to someone's holiday or Thanksgiving party, and I think I saw a savory salad. I don't know if it had tuna or chicken. I don't remember, but I will lie if I'll say anything about my experience. And I wasn't surprised because even then, 2007, I was still new in the country, so probably everything seemed kind of new to me. And that includes Jello with savory. And I think I like to consider myself that I'm pretty open-minded now as an adult. As a child, I might be a little bit pickier. But now I'm like, okay, I'll try. And if I hate it, I just don't have to eat it again. That's one of the beauties of being an adult, that you're not forced to eat something, usually. Okay, so let's keep going. One, like I was saying, a food trend that I see kind of floating around probably since a couple of months ago. It's this dessert hummus. And again, I am pretty open-minded, I think. And I went to the grocery store and I saw two options for dessert hummus. One was snickerdoodle, which I think I have to check, but it's the only difference between that one and the other option was vanilla bean. Actually, I have it next to me right now, was the 10-calorie portion more per 2 tablespoons. And I'm always watching my weight whenever I can and whenever I remember. And I was just like, okay, let's go with the less caloric one. And besides the cinnamon, I didn't see any other much of ingredient difference. Anyway, so I try, and that's exactly what I was expecting, I guess, which is garbanzo chickpea flavor with sugar and vanilla bean. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I was hoping, I was really hoping, like maybe the tahini, that kind of flavor would come through with the vanilla bean. I could actually see it, but no, I am very, very disappointed. So unless I got the wrong brand, and please, if you know of a delicious dessert hummus, and I wanted to like it because I see everyone hating it, so I was like, okay, let's be different. I got this. I will go against everyone. And no, I actually agreed. It's a little not happening for me. Sorry, dessert hummus. Another food trend that people were like talking about were like sustainability. I'm guessing like repurposing scraps, making the use of everything in an animal and a plant. And I think I'm okay with that because I mean it makes sense with the population growing and things in the world that are more scarce in certain parts of the world. I'm okay with actually that being a trend. Like the less waste we have, the better it goes. And also the idea, I don't know if that will fall into sustainability, but the whole idea of growing meat in a lab, I mean, like I said before, I'm pretty open-minded. So I'm okay with Beyond Meat and all these products that are kind of doing their mock meats. I have tried some of them myself that were pretty delicious. But where I draw the line, and mark my words, well, don't mark them because, we people, we change our minds all the time. But oh my gosh, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I don't know how in the future, and this is like out of a horror sci-fi film, it's utilizing human and animal waste for food. I don't think I'm open minded. I shall pass for now. And I don't think, unless we live in some sort of high world a la Warhammer 40K style, I just don't see how that will be part of our reality. And I want to stop that topic right there because I know it can be pretty non-pleasant. And again, I'm curious. Let's fast forward the world 200 years from now and see what's happening. But for now, yes, please pass on that one. But yeah, if you're a scientist, yeah, change my mind on molecules, and a protein is a protein. And okay, let's go to now. Insects eating doesn't seem so bad, right? Anyway, so I saw on okay, so a way I think that people might do eat more insects. I was watching this episode on Shark Tank, and there was some company making a flour out of, I think it's a cricket. I don't remember which insect it was. And they were saying how high in protein it was. And you definitely, like, if you make a bar or if you bake with this insect flour, there's more protein and it's good for the environment. It's easy to cultivate, or, well, I don't know, the term will be to grow insects in not a greenhouse, but one of those things is good and you can feed a lot of people and it's pretty nutritious. So that I could see. I don't know if 2019, but I could see people being more open-minded to try, as long as they're not trying little like insect little legs. I can see them definitely if it's coming from a flower. Okay, the next trend is paleo vegan, or as they call it, the Pegan diet. So I'm going to read something I saw, you said today. It said, a vegan diet is refraining from eating all animal products or byproducts. No meat, no eggs, no cheese, yogurt, and gelatin. A paleo diet is a nutritional plan that mimics how people used to eat in the Paleolithic era 2.5 million years ago. Oh my God, that's a long time ago. Anyways, so dieters eat unprocessed foods consisting mostly of vegetables, fruits, nuts, grass-fed meats, and fish. So if I analyze this paragraph, this means that pegans are just eating plants, pretty much, like only plants. You can cook them at least, so it's not like a raw vegan, but they're avoiding processed foods. So no sugar, no dairy, and mostly organic products. So yeah, I'm out, but good for pegans. I think I will go back to eating insects for that one. I mean, I was a vegan once, and I will talk about that another moment. So there's nothing wrong on that, but I don't know. I think that seems pretty limited a bit. Nowadays, if you have a good grocery store, I'm sure your options for most diets are pretty diverse. So we're pretty lucky, at least, on this side in Washington, D.C. The other trend that I saw is that caught my attention is homemade marmalade. And I'm okay with this trend. I'm sure with, like you heard people making their own breads, making their own preserves. And it all depends on how much time you have available. So, like, for example, right now, I started this podcast. So, obviously, this will mean that there's time that I will have to sacrifice for cooking projects until I have a better balance. But then, also, people are so busy all the time. My job is pretty flexible. So, I'm pretty lucky. But majority of people, they work, I don't know, at least 8 hours a day, plus the commute. So, that means at least 10 hours out from home. And I'm being easy on this because depending on where you're going, your commute could be 2 to 4 hours a day. And that's being pretty realistic. Anyway, so I just don't see many people doing that unless, again, their jobs are pretty flexible like mine and they have a passion for marmalades and preserves. I tried to do, what was it? A garlic confit preserve thing, and I read about all the bacteria issues if you are not careful to certain temperatures, and I was just like, yeah, I don't want to die today and I don't want to kill my partner, so I will, unless I know what I'm doing, I will just keep purchasing from farmers market, grocery stores, online, whatever, but not do my own for now. Unless you use it right away. Like if you cook it and you use it right away, that's a whole different, but then it will not be a preserved. So the other thing yeah. The thing with homemade, like now that we go back to this topic, and that I know that this year, several things that are going to be like homemade, like, like a couple of years ago, the thing was beer, bread is making a comeback. There was this article, like this post by Rachel Loudon, which by the way is one of my favorite food historians. She wrote a post saying 5 reasons why home cooking should go the way of the dodo, 1903 and 2018. And it was pretty awesome because, all the reasons she was mentioning were pretty valid. Even groundbreaking, breaking to my ears. If you have a time, check her website, rachelloudon.com. I highly recommend it. And if you are as a stubborn as I am, you will enjoy her post on these reasons to chill on the home cooking, and yet still doing it because we love it so much and life is short, so it's okay. Let's see, the next one on my notes that I have was home bread, but we already talked about it, right? So yeah, making breads, I can see why projects like that people will like how it will become a trend. Whether you call it something that is for meditation, to relax, maybe the sense of accomplishment that you get. Like one of my examples is like I took on this project of baking and decorating a cake once a month. Only once a month I do that, or else I'm gonna be 300 pounds. So there's something about it. Like it has little tasks, like I usually try to do 2 flavors of sponge. So I do it every time I finish a sponge and I'm happy with the result. There's that sense of like accomplishment for finishing that little thing. And it's like finishing, like when we're checking things off our to-do list, right? So I can see how that sort of projects might bring some joy to people's lives that it has to mine, and more when I see people enjoying what I have baked or what I have cooked. Let's see. The other trend that got my attention is like whole meal food cooked in foil. This trend actually surprised me. I don't know what I read. It wasn't on Eater, one of those sites. But anyways, it's something that I've been doing for a couple of months now. Like we just had a project and I was too busy to be putting my usual time into cooking. So I will make sure to either have some fish or some chicken or some steak, some veggies that go well together, root vegetables, spices, and whatever it was. Like for example, with beef, I will get some steak, one of those that take an hour at least to cook, depending on your cut, and that with some little bit olive oil, mushrooms, what did I have? Cassava or yuca, potato, carrot, some celery, and I just add, several vegetables and wrap that baby, and I put it in the oven for like an hour or so, an hour and a half, and that was a whole meal. So I can see how that trend will help. I don't see myself going to a restaurant, spending money into a whole meal that I know most of the time. I already know for a fact, the vegetables are usually have, their time where their perfect doneness is on different times. So yeah, I'm not a snob, okay? Well, maybe I am a little bit more. I'm a little bit, okay, I work really hard to make my money. So when I go to a restaurant, I have my expectations, my personal expectations. So anyways, when I go to a restaurant, I usually want to eat things that I know that the place makes much better than me, or that I know I wouldn't make at home because of the time consuming. I try making ramen like twice, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to a nice place. I don't care if they charge me $20 for a bowl of amazing ramen or pho or mikati, which is a soup, a Laotian soup that I love, and it's so worth it. It's so worth it to pay every single penny for that. So anyway, so this is the kind of food that I usually will like to eat outside. And homemade pasta. I mean, yes, definitely too. The other trend, which I find kind of funny, is the oat milk. For me, chicha de avena in Spanish, at least in Panama. Chicha for us is like a juice that you add water and sugar. So chicha, well, we add milk to the oat. We usually soak it overnight and then blend it or just mix it. you can leave a cinnamon stick inside and some cloves and nutmeg, whatnot, and cinnamon. Yeah, and again, cinnamon. But I think it's funny. People said like the really, really good one is very expensive. And I remember last year, I saw someone losing it because they saw some oat milk at the grocery store. I was on a trip in Iceland, and people were very excited. And I'm just like, what is so exciting about oat milk? I had that all my life. But also, I grew up drinking corn milk and rice milk and all sorts of like cereals and wheat milks because cow's milk, I don't know why. I think it's just part of our culture back in Panama. Anyways, so let's keep going. The other trend that people were talking about were fake meat snacks, like mushroom jerky. I mean, in prices, it's still kind of fancy food to me. And my experience with jerky in general, well, beef jerky from Panama, like my grandma will use, like, you have all this like marinated meat or something and put it on top of the house in the ceiling. Sometimes put fans to make sure that, that bugs would not be around touching our meat. But that was what the marinated salt will work for. But on the mushroom jerky, the thing with fake meats again, sometimes it's just pricey. But I think they've been doing well. And I remember probably like 6 years ago, I had tofurkey. I didn't really like it. Maybe I didn't cook it properly, but I was so sad. I think I was trying veganism that year. But I did love seitan. Seitan was delicious. And I love tofu itself. Like I really, really, really enjoy tofu. I make lentil burgers and all these kind of things. I'm okay with all that. So with mushroom, I don't know how far we can go with technology, but I'm looking forward to that. And again, I'm open to trying all those things. The other thing would be I don't know much about this trendy THC CBD food. I don't really know. I don't know much about that. I know the like these things, they usually have a strong smell, so I can see why people would like it. But I myself, I don't see myself cooking with it. But you never know. The other thing is transparent shopping, which is like the empowering shopping. And I think that's been going around for a while. People like to support a good cause. So if the company they're supporting, the brand they're supporting, the farm they're supporting is pretty clean and has a positive, like public brand, as you can say, then I can see how people might be more encouraged supporting companies like that. So I don't think there's much to say about that, besides that people, like if you give money to good people, you feel good. So yeah, what's the harm in that? Then something that got my attention was in the New York Times, Kim Severson mentioned kombucha will show up in unexpected places like salad dressings. Well, I don't have much experience with kombucha. To me, it's just like a vinegar fruity drink. Some of them have been very sweet. Some of them have been very sour. I don't really like drinking vinegar. I tried that diet of the apple cider vinegar, and I almost lost my teeth unless I use a straw. And then I read somewhere that it had to be diluted with water and not drinking straight vinegar. But anyways, that's a conversation for another time with me and my crazy diets. But the kombucha on a salad dressing, I could see it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fruity vinegar, so I could see that in good marketing. Kombucha dressed ranch. No, just kidding. I don't think ranch and kombucha. Well, who knows? Okay, so the last trend that I'm bringing up, and there's so many, like seriously, I have this article of Eater here. Mushrooms, infusions such as ginger water and CBD, oat milk and pea milk. PEA milk, okay? Bread, especially sourdough, paganism, grazing tables, chayote. Oh my God, they say chayote. I used to hate it as a child, but I'm a big fan now. If you haven't try as in instead of potato salad, try chayote. Hopefully, will come in. No, okay. I'll talk about my trends at the end. Clean eating, jam jelly, marmalade, plant-based foods, aka vegan food, seitan, roll ice cream, manish. I don't know what manish is. I have to Google that. Keto. Oh, keto. Yeah. Well, if you don't know what keto is, I'm sure you heard what keto is. Bulgur, pumpkin, farro, turmeric, tofu, chia, chupe corn, honey, quinoa, agave, bee pollen. Bee pollen is back. When I was vegan, that's something that people would try to sell me all the time, and I don't think I ever tried, or I bought it and I never used. I don't remember. Pacific Rim flavors. Shelf-stable probiotics, fats, hemp, full meats, snacks, eco-conscious packaging, frozen desserts, seafood snacks, fancy snacks, moringa. What? This is back. Middle Eastern spices, African spices, orange wine, drinking collagen. Why? Just eat some oxtail or whatever. Yeah. Coffee, beer. Insect. Well, drinking collagen. Is that like aloe vera? Because then I can see it. I like the texture of aloe vera. Cheese snacks. Shaved ice, chlorophyll lattice. What is that? Adaptogens. Celtus is the new kale. What is celtus? Cabbage lettuce? I don't know. Healthy desserts. Hot brew coffee. Lager. Diet food. Diet food never goes away. Let's face it. We all want to lose weight all the time. At least I do. Sour flavors. Yes, that's one of my favorites. Okay, I'm not gonna keep going because there's like 50 more. Seriously. Oh my God, I just saw coffee. Coffee's always in. Come on, people. Fonio. What is a fonio? I have so much Googling to do. So this is a list by Eater. If you want to see, they did a really, really good recap of everywhere. I see they're quoted Uber Eats, Whole Foods, New York Times, Delish Magazine, Greatest Magazine, Nation's Restaurant News Magazine. They have a lot on that list. So let me go to my notes. Oh yeah, the last trend that got my attention, cheese tea. I tweeted and a friend said that somewhere in Virginia there's a coffee shop that is selling cheese tea. I don't know if I want to drive all the way up there to try cheese tea. I am curious, but if I am going to be as disappointed as I am with the dessert hummus, I might just wait for someone to sell it in DC or Maryland to give it a try. But if you have, please let me know your thoughts. But I think this one is just coming up this, at least in this area of the States. I'm sure it's been, I think, in Japan. I'm not sure where it's been for a while, or Thailand. I'm not sure. I will lie if I say where it's coming from. So my personal food trend prediction wishes. I'm being honest here. These are my wishes. This is not my real predictions. This is what I'm hoping for. So desserts, less sweet. I always battle with sugar. Like seriously, I am overweight and everything, and I love desserts. But most of the time, if the first thing I can taste is the sugar, you're breaking my heart. More acidic sour flavors, yes. And I don't mean throwing Sour Patch into cakes. Please don't do that. Well, who knows? I would try probably in a buttercream, but I don't know. Let's see. Less powder sugar buttercream. It's the most practical one. I know. I myself have done that. But unless you're eating cream cheese or some sort of like tart flavor to your extremely heavy and powder sugar buttercream, that's what I taste, powder sugar. And it breaks my heart. And yes, again, I know it's the probably most practical icing to make, but I would like the trend to go away from that one. I'm gonna blame cupcakes on this one. Let's see. Oh yes, I would love to see pastry creams. They're probably 1,000 calories, but they're so good. They're so freaking delicious. I'm actually really on pastry creams right now, and I'll talk about that another time. Anyways, the next one. Tropical fruits making their way to get more trendy. And I don't mean only rambutan. Rambutan is delicious, and I see it more often everywhere, even at Whole Foods. But I wish, crossing my fingers and toes, to see soursop. Soursop, which I call guanabana, is one of my favorite fruits. I mean, it's so expensive probably to get here, but it's so delicate. I don't even know. I will have to write down how to explain the taste of soursop. But it's like cotton, but sweet, but not too sweet. A touch tart. It's beautiful. I want to cry. I think I saw it. I bought a can of it, and I'm so afraid. I'll let you go. Like I'll let you know how it goes once I open the can, because fruit in the can is usually heavy in syrup, so tasty, but not their real thing. And yuca, please. I've seen yuca more around, but it's usually just like a Peruvian or maybe some Salvadorian, some Central American restaurants, but not like I wish. I guess it's not grown in America. That's why it's not gonna be part of the new American cuisine. But it's such a delicious root that I hope it becomes more popular. I don't care if it's just in fries. I want to see it. Maybe Campero has it. I don't know. I try not to go fast food places too often because I just love them and I overeat more than I should. Seriously, one meal is like calories from 2 of my days that I should be eating. Anyways, more ceviche, less crudo. I don't remember why I wrote that. I don't know exactly what the definition of crudo I know in Spanish and in Italian, I think it means the same, which means raw. But I just love lime. So ceviche is always a little bit, well, my ceviche is usually pretty, pretty heavy on lime, I've been told. And I'm proud. I really like it. I could drink lime out of a lime. And lemon is sweet to me, actually. So, and yes, my teeth are still fine. Thanks for asking. And the last trend that I'm hoping for that becomes a thing is culantro, people. Culantro. Culantro is so good. People should start using in stews, chopped in salads, chopped and added at the end of stew or soup or stews or on top of your rice or your pasta. Embrace culantro. I don't know if we're growing in this country. Most of the time I see imported, and I want to try to grow it myself, but I don't know. I think it's going to be hard. But thank you, Asian and Latin American grocery stores, for carrying culantro. I owe you with my life. Trends I definitely see coming more this year are also, that's it. I'm not going to keep talking. If not, we're going to stay here all day long. Let's come back to this podcast in like 12 months and see what really happened in 2019. Someone hopefully at least learned a thing or two on culantro, guanabana. Remember, guanabana, soursop, the fruit of the gods. I should get paid for giving so much promotion to soursop, but seriously, it's like one of my favorite fruits ever. Let me know what you think about this podcast. Remember, this is my first episode. I love feedback. So message me on Twitter on LittleLadyCook or an email, hello@jcgibbs.com. Let me know, seriously, like your thoughts. This is my first one. I am very nervous. I'm running out of breath. I need to do better with that. And in my bottle of water, hello, I forgot to drink you. Anyway, so bye for now. And remember, a comer. Bye.